Welcome, everybody, to the Winning Twice podcast. I am your host, Austin Cheviron, and today I got a special guest. We're going to be talking about really life and the legacy and how to play in from being a high achiever to someone who's pursuing a vision. And I got my buddy, Ryan Woodruff on. Ryan, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
What's up? You ready to have some fun today?
I have tried to have a little fun today. I had a coaching session with a 23-year-old and it made me
Oh,
feel 23. It was freaking awesome. The energy, I'm still riding the wave. I don't want to do any of the shit that I told him to do, but man, it was cool to tell him about it.
you know what's fun when you're in the coaching world? I just had someone tell me yesterday, he goes, you don't actually have to hold people fully accountable to all the work. You just speak and tell them what to do, and then you get to leave. And that's someone else's job now, where it used to
That's
be my
right.
job.
Yeah.
And so I laugh at what you say. What I'd love to do, Ryan, is give a 60-second background of who you are. So that way they got an idea of who am I listening to today? And then I want to go into how we met.
All
So
right.
can you give us the 60-second, who is
Yeah.
Ryan Woodruff?
Well, so 60 is a good number. So the short version is I'm coming off of 60,000 hours in leadership roles over the last 30 years. I was in the junior high leadership program. That's how I got to this point. And I started in retail. I kind of fell into banking. Um, Ultimately, I ended up, being the high energy guy that liked to train and teach and develop. I've got a whole bunch of psychological dysfunction that I essentially was able to parlay into success in a financial services career. And I'm a Gen X burnout. So about 3 years ago, I quit my $300,000 a year job with 3 months notice and no other job. Dumbest, brightest decision I've ever made. And now I coach people for a living. So I like to tell people that I'm a leadership and performance coach, and like to take and figure out how to parlay awareness into doing better shit.
It's funny. I was on welfare, and then a handful of years later, I'm making almost $500,000 selling real estate, and then I quit. And everyone's like, "What are you doing? You're
Dumbass.
crazy. You're dumbass." And I go, I'm like, maybe, but we'll see. And as
Yeah.
you said, it's like,
Yep.
hey, you got to take some chances on yourself at some point.
Yeah.
And the 500,000 for me, when I'm making $500,000 selling real estate at 32 years old, which seemed like a billion, especially when you're coming off of welfare.
Yeah.
It's just like there's a bigger vision for my life than this. And I don't care to have you judge me and you to tell me what you think I
Yeah.
should do because you've never done this and you should be happy making this kind of money. It's like, I'm good. I'm just going to
Yeah.
keep moving through life. So
Conviction and purpose are powerful, powerful magnets, and they will
conviction
pull
and
your
purpose.
ass towards it, whether you like it or not. It's like gravity.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Once you get it up in your head, it pulls me every day. All my decisions are in alignment with where I'm going.
Yeah.
And
That's that lens, man.
it gets really simple then.
Yeah.
And so let's go back. Let's tell them about how we met.
Okay. You want me
So,
to tell that story?
well, you like to talk more than I do, so I think that's only
Listen,
fair,
I
right?
know your disc assessment, buddy. So I would call us parallel
No,
when it comes.
my eye's a 48. Yours is a 480. There's a difference.
I am a DI. I got my poster right here. I can pull it out. Here's how I'll tell you. I'll
Yeah.
talk about it. How I learned about you. So your legacy preceded you. So I was running the mortgage division at a large credit union. And we had, I think, 75 to 80 employees at that point in time. And we wanted to grow in the Fort Wayne market, very, very strong in like the North Central Indiana market, Northwest Indiana market, pretty solid in the Indianapolis market. And the mindset was like, we're just not really doing enough throughout the entirety of the state. So we acquired a team, a really good mortgage lending team with some good legacy, good reputation, integrity out there. And I came out and I thought, well, what all can we do out here? How can we differentiate ourselves? How can we, be special? What is this? It was about 25 people on that team. What does this team need? How can we help them kind of get to the next level? And, the leader on that team, who was actually the founder of that team, said, you know what, man, like I have got to get you in front of this guy, Austin. He is this just up and comer who's just taken over everything and growing. And man, your energy and his energy are just similar. You guys got to meet. And he's like, I've known his dad forever. His dad's just this amazing guy, but like, there's something happening here. And like, we got to match you guys up. And so from there, it was kind of a blur after that. I think that we kind of came, a meeting was set and maybe we came into your office and I think we flirted with each other a little bit. Like, all right, who's got more energy right now? And what's this guy want? And is he for real? And I think the chemistry was immediate. I thought like, just maybe sizing each other up a little bit. Like I was like, this dude is doing stuff and it's exciting. And just being in the room, it lifted my energy. And I think we've been pretty connected since then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like to always hear what other people think because everybody, that is not how it went at all. Actually, I'm just joking. The stuff he said is not true. I don't know what he was thinking. Are you thinking of someone else?
No,
I don't. No, so I remember you came in, and so I was running the Cheviron group, and the Cheviron group was operating primarily in northeastern Indiana, but we had some agents in Indy. We had agents up in the South Bend area. And Ryan, I knew what the vision was of that. Like we were going to be the number one real estate team in the world is what we were working for. And I knew that I needed a relationship with the bank that could service the majority of our agents.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say all, I said the majority. And so, there's a lot of local banks like, oh, hey, we want your 400 transactions. I'm like, I'm sure you do,
Yeah.
but I got a bigger problem. I got a national problem. I got a local problem. I got a regional problem and I got a national problem if I go there. Well, my goal was to solve my regional problem. And so that's when me and you met. And it's funny because you were working, I mean, you grew your company. Like did you double the business while you
I
were
took
there?
them so I'm going to put an asterisk on this. I took them from 150 million to 650 million over the course of 4 years. But the caveat there is COVID happened in there as well. So that was really a catalyst. But even the year after I left there after COVID had ended. So a year after COVID, they still did 450 million. So
Well,
I
you're
tell
right.
everybody I tripled it.
You're right. If COVID didn't happen, you would have been at 1 billion. I agree with you. Asterisk for COVID.
Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. Well,
You'd have been at a
rates
billion.
rates went to 2%. I'm still sitting on a 2.75% mortgage myself. And that made the job pretty easy. So I'm not going to take credit for quadrupling, but I am going to take credit for tripling.
Yeah. So in between those years, everybody, we're probably talking 5 years ago now, maybe is when we met.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
So
So
6 years ago.
6 years.
Yeah.
And so Ryan was in charge. I was trying to figure out all these nuances of how do we scale? How do we do this? We work with the heavy Burmese population here too. Some of the Burmese agents came over to me and just said, they just said, I heard you could fix me. And what needed fix was the business was up here, but their life was suffering because of it, and they didn't know how to manage and balance it. So you remember when we were working through all the Burmese market and translators, and I mean, we were talking about some heavy, heavy stuff trying to
It
get
was, man.
into, and then
Yeah.
all the red tape, and
Yeah.
it was a pretty cool journey to go through that process with you. And then what ended up happening as we were going through it, I'm like, well, Ryan's 2 hours away from me. What if I come up and hang out with you and see what's going on up there? And I found out you were a gamer. You like to play games, do you?
Yes, I do.
Why do you?
Probably way more time gaming than I should. If I did this the other day, I said for the last 10 years, I figured out the amount of hours of gaming I've played the last 10 years because Xbox tracks it. And I was like, if I had just applied, I could be Prince. I could play every musical instrument that exists if in the last 10 years I had not played video games and picked up an instrument. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on video games. Doesn't mean I'm good, but I do spend a lot of time.
Well, as another gamer, so it's funny. I think my old PlayStation used to track my hours on a certain game, and when my wife would come home,
Probably
I don't think
SOCOM.
Yeah, it was definitely SOCOM. Yeah. And I remember my wife would come home and I'm like, shit, I don't want her to see how much I played. No way. So I'd have to create a new name and a new account because I'm like, she's going to know I literally stayed up for 11 hours after she left and played. And she's going to say, you got 11,000 hours. The game came out 6 months ago. Is that right? I'm like, no. Yeah, I
It's a
want to
lot.
say every waking second I'm not with you, I'm playing. Do you think that's a problem? Because I want to
Yeah.
get married and I love to game. And to me, Ryan, gaming brings out like a competition. It brings out like, how do I do the best? And it's what's nice about it is it's not actual life. So when I screw up, I don't like lose all my money and I'm become homeless.
It is absolutely, I coach on this. It is absolutely the best decision simulator that you can have. You play video games, you have no choice but to make tons of decisions very quickly. You have to take in information, you have to act, you have to process, you have to think, and you get immediate that was successful or that was a failure. And
Yeah.
that type of skill building and repetition in your head, you then apply in your career. There is no way I would have had this success in my career. I'm pretty dumb, actually. And so the fact that I've handled the responsibility I've had, I give a lot of that credit to video games.
Same here, buddy. And there's a lot of parents that disagree with that philosophy. And I don't want to agree or disagree with them, but like video games taught me how to handle money and how to grow it, how to increase levels and skills. It
Yep.
taught me about time management. I had some games that would reset at midnight and then different NPCs would be in different parts and they would drop certain things. And like I had to set my alarm for 11:55 so I could log on, move my character, log off, log back on, and at 12 a.m. in 4 seconds, I'm fighting that NPC and no one else is.
Yeah.
And everyone else is waking up the next day saying, man, it's never here. It's like, well, that's the same thing they do in life.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just not here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the early bird gets the worm,
Right.
huh? That's what
Teaches
they
you
say.
optimization, teaches you how to find
Yes.
the small details and use them for your advantage. Yeah.
Man, there was one video game I played. It's actually okay as a gamer. I don't know if I've ever said this to you. I might have, but as a gamer, my favorite game I ever played was a game with no pictures. It was all just letters and numbers.
What game was that?
It was called Rock Crash Plane. It was on
Nope.
the
Never heard of it.
computer and it
Nope.
was all just letters. And so you move through the world based off of N is north. And there's a map, but you can't see it. But there's literally a map with the people, and you can fight the people in the map. And I don't know if there was 500 people that played it or 5,000 or I
Yeah.
have no clue. But I had so much money in that game that the interest I was earning, I ended up earning more interest in a day than the entire game had as a collective, all the
Oh my
people.
God.
I broke the financial system for the game. It'd be like one person having $100 trillion. It's like, we can't do life with one person. They buy the continent of
Yeah.
Africa now. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
I just own the whole continent. Oh, and I bought Antarctica too now. And we're just going to
Yeah.
do fishing trips down there.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting, and I guess what I want to share here is me and you from childhood both played video games, and those skills that were within us needed to come out for us to be the best version of ourselves.
Hmm.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you still use them today. I use
I
them
do.
today.
Yeah. And I'll
And
be 49 on Monday and I still play a lot of video games.
yeah, I was playing last night still. I come home and the way I decompress is I play video games against
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
And it just helps me like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Keeps
So
you get a chance to continue with your action orientation. Again, we know each other's disc assessments.
yeah.
You get to keep the action orientation, but it doesn't have to happen in the real world. So you get to check out a little bit. Keep doing the thing that you're wired to do, but without any consequence or without any accountability. It's pretty nice.
I heard Elon Musk was ranked like in the top 5 in Diablo. I've never played Diablo.
I have heard that too. Oh, that was a great game. The
Okay.
original and Diablo 2. The ones after that, they kind of catered to the masses. They weren't as fun, but there was a lot of optimization in that. A lot of ability to do different things in that game. I heard that too.
Yeah, and I'm like, it makes sense. I could see he works really hard, then he goes home and he jams out over here, but the brain's still ticking and moving. And if I, as I'm hearing my therapist listen to me say this, he's like, "Hey, you need to really turn it off, Austin." I'm like, "Yeah, this is how I turn it off." He goes, "It's not. That's not how you turn it off." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm still
Yeah.
human. I'm human. I
That's
need
right.
work."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun. We share that, and then we got to, as gamers, we found that there was a game we both played together
Yep.
that was called, what was the name?
I'm still
Wasn't
traumatized by that experience.
no, we got to
Command
share it.
and Conquer Red Alert.
For anybody that ever played that, we found out we both played it. So, like great gamers and both high D's on the disc profile,
Yep.
we gave ourselves a couple months to go practice, and we talked shit to each other before we played.
Yep.
So that was fun. Now we don't have to tell everybody that I kicked your ass at it.
You just did. I was waiting for that. I know. You slaughtered me. That was like playing chess with Bobby Fischer.
I had a lot of hours invested into that game.
Yeah. Well, what you did was executed a strategy with consistency and perfection. That's what you did.
That's my C on the disc profile. In a
Right.
video game. That's my C, Ryan.
I was like, let's have fun and play together, Austin. This will be so much fun. And you're like, that's cool. I'm going to destroy you. Well, I'm glad that was fun.
Oh, are you breathing? Hang on. Let me step on your throat a little bit more here. This isn't fun time. I know. Well,
it was a good experience for all of us.
As two gamers. And I think, what's funny is that game I played based off of my disc profile, DC. So I'm going fast and I'm system and organized.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the game I played today, I won't say it out loud, not that it matters, but I don't think anybody would ever know it. The game I played today is a game where the game starts the same every time. And when it says go, the people that execute the fastest have the highest chances.
Yeah.
And because my brain knows exactly how much I need and exactly what to do, I'm able to get the resources pouring in faster than anybody else.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Let's take that, Ryan, and let's transition. This is actually great. Because I can figure out how to get the resources pulling in, I have an advantage in life, an advantage in the game, an advantage in business. So let's transition this to, hey, mortgage, real estate team. Mm-hmm. Now we're transferring our life into a greater vision, which is impacting, coaching, training others.
Yeah.
When you started, you said you've been on a journey for about the last 3 years. Let's talk about now the resources for somebody who might want to get into the coaching. Let's talk to them.
Great. And I got a great path for that.
How did the resources work? I have a vision. I want to go from production to impact to legacy to speaking on stages, training. What does that look like?
So, well, I will tell you, just like all good plans, you have a great plan and then you get hit in the mouth and you change your plan. So I thought I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. The only thing I ever wanted to be was a meteorologist. And that stopped basically my senior year of high school. And then I was like, I don't know what I want to do. So I worked in retail. I worked in banking. I kind of fell into mortgage lending, kind of fell into real estate that way, financial services, things like that. But the one consistency is I had been a corporate employee for 30 years. I had worked at corporations, large organizations for 30 years. So when I kind of burned out and I was like, I need to do something different. I want to be a better father, a better husband, a better friend. Ultimately, that's where the burnout came from, because I thought I was a better version of those things than what was basically brought to me. My family basically had an intervention. So I thought, well, I'm going to take all this 30 years of corporate experience and leadership, and I'm going to go into the world and I'm going to be this great coach for small businesses that don't have corporate structure. I'm not a big fan of EOS, the Entrepreneur Operating System. I understand the foundations. I've read Traction. I own all the books. They're on my shelf. I think there's good pieces of it. I thought I could do a simpler version of that, much cheaper for people. So I had this great idea. I learned really quickly that idea didn't work. I had my first year, I had 3 clients, all of which were basically like not necessarily friends, but people I had worked with relatively intimately.
Hmm.
Um, and they were all from my past, people I knew. Um, I still tried. I still made efforts to market myself to the general community. I kind of wanted to be this, my aspiration of like being the village elder. You know, I want to be the guy locally that people come to and ask these questions about, do my employees suck? How do I make them better? You know, how do I
Yeah.
get the most out of what I want to do? So I continued to market that and I wasn't having a lot of success. And ultimately, you fast forward today, I just signed my 29th client yesterday in 3 years. And thank you,
Yeah.
real estate agent.
Yeah.
Um, and every one of my clients is financial services or real estate adjacent in some way. Home builders, contractors, financial advisors, bankers, realtors, mortgage lenders, people like that. And what I learned is I still am able to do the thing I want to do, which is coach performance and coach awareness and just help people learn things before they have to learn them the hard way, if possible. Help pass on things that it took me 30 years to learn. Maybe I can get them to learn it a little before they make it 30 years, you know, just help generational knowledge. I want to give
Hmm.
you something that helps make it easier for you. Well, the success I've had is keeping that within what I knew, what my subject matter expertise was.
Yeah.
Leadership, awareness, personality, psychology, that those are for everybody. Well, I've had the most success using those things within industries that I at least knew. I don't do mortgages anymore. I don't sell real estate. I don't carry Series 6 investment licenses anymore. I don't have insurance licenses. I don't have to any of those things, but I still sort of work within those industries. Giving the things back to those industries are the things that I want to do. It's the things I want to be known for, the things I consider mastery, things I love to do. And that's really how it's worked. So the advice on that is, if you want to do something different than what you do, it doesn't necessarily mean completely washing your hands of it. Like, can you do something different within what you've done? Is that fulfilling? Is that purpose? Is that conviction? Like, what does that look like for you? So resources, the biggest resource for me, fast forward 3 years, is people I already knew.
How many of those 29 people did you already know? If you were to guess.
At this point, about my first 8 or 9 people, I had some connection or I had 1 degree of separation.
Uh-huh.
So my existing people, my first 3 clients were people I knew really well. They introduced me to people. Now at this point, I'm several degrees of separation.
Yep.
You know, I get a little bit of traction from social media. I've had 20 speaking engagements so far this year. I get a little bit of traction from the speaking engagements. I'm involved in a lot of networking things, you know, business associations, realtor associations, all these types of things. I get a little traction this way. So the composition of my clients has been diverse at this point, but it started from existing resources.
Okay, let me ask this. How do you, and I'll speak into this after you do. I'll let you start it and see what you say. Hopefully something great. Hi.
Your expectations are too high.
Let me let you fall on your face first, and then I'll pick you
Great.
up. Uh, this isn't a question that really has even an answer, but how do you determine what products and services as a coach and consultant I know you decide to provide to the, how do you even come up with it? Like
Yeah.
what goes through your mind? And I'll
So
tell you mine afterwards.
yeah. So there's a couple quick answers to that. One is when I started, I advertised too many things. I thought, well, I spent several years as an executive. I had systems experience, decision-making experience, leadership, sales coaching, production, operational efficiency. Like, I had all these different things. So I advertised all that. Well, then people were like, listen, I have one problem. Like, I don't want to have 10 problems. And the fact that you're telling me you can do 10 things means you're not great at any one thing.
Yeah.
So what I would say is that was the first year. I'm only going to credit the last 18 months, because about the beginning of last year is when I really understood I can get paid for things I can do, and I can get paid for things I love to do.
Mhm.
And how long do I continue to accept money and accept clients for the things I can do versus the things I love to do? And that became a journey. And I'm still working through that now. I am happy to say today, I have more clients for things I love to do than I do things I can do. Now, I feel valuable to all these people, but there's a difference in the energy it gives me when I love it versus I just feel valuable doing it. We can make money so many ways in life.
Yep.
And so I at this point, I just advertise myself as leadership, communication, and performance.
Mm.
And so all of the clients I have either are in leadership roles or aspire to be in leadership roles in some way, shape, or form. And that's what I love to do. And so we work towards that.
Yeah, for everybody listening, one great filter I've used to figure out what Ryan's saying, what do I love to do, is another way of saying is what would I do for free? And if I can get my work to the stuff I would just do for free, then it is work, but it's a lot less. You're
Yeah.
closer to the end vision.
Yeah.
So for me, Ryan, I was trying. So I went from selling real estate to running a real estate team to having 5, 6 other companies to coaching and training. And what I realized was I could actually make this business whatever I desired. I can make it. Real estate's you're still in a box. I'm not really in a box now. I can speak if I want to. I can sell products. I can hold hands at the junior level, at the senior. I can do whatever I want. So the question is like, well, what the hell do you want, Austin?
Yeah.
And then I started asking myself, well, and this is what we'll work on in Salt Lake City a little bit, which is, well, what the hell do I need? Well, what I need is, what I really need is my business to allow me to work anywhere in the world if I choose. And I'm not confined to a location because if you are and life says, hey, you need to go be in South Bend for 3 weeks to go be with your mother, then is my work screwed?
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the freedoms I wanted to have was a freedom of location. And so I'm like, okay, well, how do I get my work to be anywhere? And knowing that I went from, real estate to I do 98% of my stuff virtual now,
Yeah.
I'm now free. The other side of this is how do you have the lowest expenses possible? Because when you get to the end of your vision, that end of that journey of work, you don't want to have 100,000 a month in expenses. You want to have almost zero. And so starting with the end in mind, it's like, well, what can I do that doesn't really cost money that I can get paid for?
Yeah.
Mhm. Something like I'm sitting in a studio. I probably got 50 grand in my studio. That's not cheap. Now it's cheap today unless something breaks, but I had to
Yeah.
invest 50 grand. It's like, God, we could have done this another way, guys.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I realized is I really enjoy, I put myself, I was actually at the gym, Ryan, and I was at the gym. It was probably 4 a.m. They had a TV on and it was the preacher, like a 70-some-year-old preacher just talking. And I'm like, this guy's talking at 3 in the morning. It's probably recorded, but maybe he's here at 3 in the morning. And then I asked myself this question: do you think, is he getting paid to do this? And I'm like, I don't think he is. I think he's probably just, he likes to do this.
Yeah.
And so I
Are you
started
talking
asking,
about a topic that he loves, that he wants to get out into the world? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's just sharing. And then so I
Yeah.
thought, okay, well, if the end of my life, only thing I'm looking at doing is trying to find people that will listen to what I want to talk about. Right? That you know what I'm you're smiling.
I
You know
do.
what I'm
I tell people, they're like, Ryan, what's your favorite thing to do? And I'll say, learn something new and tell anyone who'll listen.
so if that's where we're going,
Yeah.
then how do I start today? Like, why do I need to start when I'm 70? What if I start when I'm 40?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, one thing that I could see me doing the rest of my life is finding men or women who need a mentor that I can pour
Yep.
into all
Yep.
my failures, knowledge, wisdom, whatever it is. And so I decided to work one on one, to have one on one clients. Now, I was raised from Buffini and Company. They're
Yep.
one of the largest
Very
coaching and
familiar.
training companies.
Yep.
And Buffini and Company coaches would normally have, in my opinion, from what I knew, 50 to 90 clients at any time, because it was every 2 weeks. You got a half hour call,
Yeah.
burn and turn you in, fill the books. It's a business.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the type of coaching that I wanted.
Yeah. That's
I
exhausting to me.
I didn't want to do it. And as a client, I wanted more. I wanted to be able to send my coach a message on Saturday and be like, hey, really need you right now. I pissed the wife off. She's telling me to leave. Like, please God, I need some help right now, Austin.
Uh-huh.
Well, when you're running 90 clients, you can't
No,
do that.
that's correct.
It's just no way. So
Yep.
the vision I had is, okay, well, how many clients one-on-one, and I'm just going one here, how many one-on-one clients do I need, Ryan, to do two things? One, to pour into whatever I have. Okay. Like at a certain point, I don't have any more. So how many
Right.
people can I pour into? And then how much money do I need to come in that if this is the only thing I do, I can still pay my bills?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like a bond. And by
Yep.
the way, to have a one-on-one client, I need internet and a computer. How I could probably even do it from my phone. It wouldn't be as professional, but I need internet and a computer. And I'm probably going to have both of those the rest of my life. Right. So
Hmm.
lowest expenses, highest paid, best people. And so I determined, actually, you want to know how I determined how many clients I could take on? I was driving home from Indianapolis to Fort Wayne one day. Okay. 2 hour drive.
Yep.
And I had free time. And so I just started to call my one-on-one clients. And what I realized is that I could have about 10. And what I mean by that is I had 2 hours, five didn't answer and five did. I talked to each five for about 20, 30 minutes. And then I'm
Okay.
like, well, this is how many I can take on. If I had 90, I could never have called them.
Correct. Yep.
And so that was one of the ways I'm like, if I have extra time and I want to pour into these people, if I had 2 hours, could I pour into 10?
Yep.
And so, I've one of the things that I say is I only have so many parking spots up here.
And I use that. I talk about your parking spots all the time when I talk about clients.
A- And if you have too many cars fill, like then they're parking on the grass. And
Yeah.
I can't have people when they park on the grass, my brain short wires and short circuits. So it's like I got 12 parking spots and you're gonna pay to have your name be on that spot. If your car's there or not, you're gonna get a half hour a week that you park there. But when you're gone, it's still going. Your
Yeah.
name's still there. You're still being promoted. And so, 10 one-on-one clients is what I figured I could do. The next thing was the group. So
Yeah.
my one-on-one clients pay me, let's say, $20,000 to $80,000 a year. That's one bracket, 10 people. Then the next one is, well, I want to group people that pay me $1,000 to $5,000 a year because maybe that's all they can afford.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, how do I get the group work? Well, what's the purpose of the group? Well, it's impact. It's a place where I can come and train for 1 hour
Yeah.
to 20 people or 50 people.
Yep.
And it's a nice little segue from one-on-one to the group.
Yeah.
Um,
You can just show up and talk about the things that you know and pass on skills and it be impactful.
and it's worked
Yeah.
well. So thinking through, the question, Ryan, was, well, if I'm going to create a coaching business, what do I want to create? It's like, it's like saying you just got the 248 Crayola colors and good luck. What do you
Yeah.
want to color? It's like, I can color anything. But
Yeah.
you said it. I got to pick a couple things because I got to get the income coming in and I got to do this successfully if I'm going to make this leap.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's where you talk about that. And you're well ahead of me on this, but this is the natural progression. Like at what point, where were you year wise in where I'm at right now, which is, and the good thing is I've learned from you because we've been friends for a while. So
yeah,
I've watched your journey and that makes it quicker for me. Right. Like I'm at that point where I meet with 22 people a month right now. And that's about right. That's
yeah,
about right. I have about half of them have they all have access to me outside of their scheduled meeting time and they pay for
yep,
that.
yeah,
About half of them use it, half of them don't. I love being able to give them that access. That they pay for it, but I really like it. I want to know that they don't have to wait if they want to talk to me.
yes,
And I get to be a part of that. But I don't feel like I'm capable of doing that for 42 people or 44 people. So I built my model because I listened to you. What do I need to make? What's my minimum? What do I need to be happy and do this? And then how will that work? And then the other caveat was, who are the people I feel most valuable with and what can they afford? So I had to think through some of that stuff as well. And that's that point. So now it's like, if I were to increase much beyond what I'm doing, I need to have a group session. I need to have a group. How do I want to do a group session? And I've already started thinking about that. And I'm going to do something next year. And for basically for the sales, the people that want the sales, I spent a long time as a sales manager. I've got a lot of sales tools and tips. I still have some excitement for sales and for achievement. Like I said, I was super geeked to talk to that young professional this morning. I don't want to do it, but I sure love telling them how it works. Talked about cold calls and breaking the numbers down and stuff like that. So I'll do something like that. And that's a good path.
You know what's funny, Ryan?
Yeah, go.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
My one-on-one clients, what people get, they get confused about, they're like, what do you work with them on? And when my one-on-one clients tell people what they work on me with, I don't ever talk about sales, because these people sell already. Selling's not the problem. I mean, I got some people doing, one of my clients, their goal is 2 billion this year. Sales isn't the issue. The issue is the diary or the calendar. So I've been working a lot overseas and I'm still using their language. It's the calendar.
Yeah.
It's the financial management. It's the vision. It's their family. And so I come in on the one-on-one level and I'm working with the things that people don't work with them on.
That's
and
right. Almost therapy to some extent.
Yes. Marriage. My mother-in-law said to me when she goes, you're not a marriage counselor. I go, Mom, if you were to sit down and listen to the shit that I deal with, I 100%. And the only reason I can, I've been married for 19 years. I got an idea what it takes to survive and thrive at the same time.
It's relationships, and you preach relationships all the time. Relationships are communication, conflict, and collaboration. That works with marriage. I don't have a single client that's on a DISC assessment that their spouse hasn't taken the DISC assessment. And they use that shit.
Yeah. That's
hopefully for good, but that absolutely works. It's all those things that are outside of the business that make the business work. It's the foundation. It's similar to concepts for your run rest period.
Yeah.
That is a foundational strength that it's about what's your capability. You will do good things with whatever you're capable of. I don't really teach anybody how to sell. They already want to do that. I teach them how to optimize what they do.
Yeah. Well,
how do you be the best at it?
My group now, what's interesting, what you're saying, my group, I do teach some sales to now. So that is a place where they need to figure out how to sell more to get to that next level that then figures out, okay, well, I got to keep balancing this other stuff.
Yeah.
And if I teach that group just the good stuff of life, all the good stuff that we got to do, but they don't get the sales, they don't have that instilled in them yet.
Yeah. That's true.
So it's kind of cool. I never thought about it. Well, I mean, a small amount till you said it. My one-on-ones, life, business, legacy, financials. My group, I'm doing a lot of, I don't want to say basic, but I just spent the whole month telling someone how to list a property. And it sounds simple. Nothing I do is basic, but hey, here's the process and every aspect of the process. And every aspect of the process has an optimization piece. It has a failure rate. It has a success rate.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch them eat that shit up because I don't talk about that much anymore. I don't speak on stages on it. I don't speak to my one-on-one clients, but in my group, I get to do that. And it's kind of cool. So,
something I'm learning, and I'd be curious as to when this stood out for you. And it's still difficult for me, but things that are just that I think are second nature. And in my mind, even though one of the tenets of what I teach is don't expect other people to think like you. That's literally the second tenet of what I teach. Maybe I teach it because I need to hear it. I still am constantly blown away by, I'm like, this is just second nature. This is just how something works. And I will tell somebody the thing and they're like, I never thought of it that way. And I'm like, what else lives inside my head that might be valuable to somebody? I think about that. And I'm like, what am I missing? Am I not? What is valuable that somebody, like you said, listing and talking about a step, saying something that somebody hadn't thought of before. And they're like, wow. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think that was going to be valuable, but I'm glad.
I literally will do that, Ryan. And then I'll get a text a week later. Hey, you taught me this. I just made $4,000. Literally, I can show. And I'm like, you didn't know that already? You didn't. Think about that. And what happens is, as a coach, I'm coaching through the lens of which I see life. And
Yeah.
really a lot of times, and there's a time for that, but there's also like, how did you get to this thinking? Because you're talking at a level in which they're not there.
Yeah. I literally just spent, I had content day this week. I've been teaching this, clear your mental clutter process forever. Like just organizing your emails and how to create folders and drop things in and when you're thinking what to do with it. It's just nothing for me.
Yeah.
And like all these newer clients I'm showing, they're like, oh my God, this is great. So finally I said, screw it. I built a PowerPoint, I built a handout, and I'm like, now this is going to be a talking thing. But I never thought that was something that was valuable. A lot of energy, a lot of action. I miss things. Well, I'm
Yeah.
also 49 years old. Like I figured out I couldn't do shit if I didn't stay organized. So I
Well,
created some simple things that were in front of me to keep me organized. I didn't think that was going to be valuable to somebody else. Now it's like people are like, this is great. Like, thank you for
well,
this.
and so I think what happens is we forget what got us to this point, and we forget where we were. And so, as someone who keeps going down the road and keeps progressing in life and business, our job as a coach and a trainer and a consultant is to go backwards to where we were and where they are, and to say,
Yeah,
hey, in 2016, I was working on this thing, and I forget it, but I was working on this. And this is exactly what you need to work on to get you to where you're trying to get to. But we forget it. We
we
train
do
from the,
so easily.
uh,
Yeah. Because once
that,
we learn it, they were like, oh my God, why did I not know that before? And now we know it. Well,
Mhm.
we got to give that to other people. But so I start to wonder, I'm like, what else have I learned that could be valuable to people? Like,
So
how do I
it's,
extract all that?
yeah, it's funny. I don't have my whiteboards over here, but if I were to draw a triangle, what I tell my people in Cheviron Live, which is my group session, what I tell them is, in this triangle, here's how I coach you and train you. 60% of everything I say will be foundational and basic. I have to, because I don't know what you don't know. And even if I said it 4 times and you haven't done it yet, if you don't get this, we got nothing.
Yeah.
30% will be in the middle. It will be intermediate. It will be a nice little pro tip. You'll like, oh, that's what happens after I do this. And then 10% is the pinnacle. It's the advanced thing. But unfortunately, 90% of them want this, where
Yeah.
what
Right.
they need is this. And I
Yeah.
want to give them this,
Yeah.
because I'm like, this is the cool shit. This is what we all want. This is what I figured out. If I give them this and not this, my whole work's hollow. It doesn't have a point. It's a shiny object.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn that, just like you were saying, I have to learn, like, I need to talk about 3 things. That's it. 3 things. 1, 2, 3. Pick
Yep.
what you want. That's what you get great at. That's what you do. That's what the professionals do.
Yep.
And it's like, what are those 3 things? And like me and you say, well, I got 12 things I can talk
I
about.
got 3 things
I,
now. Everything else just other things fall underneath those, but I
yes.
don't advertise that. I advertise 3 things.
Yeah. And as someone who has create flexibility, or they have flexibility to create whatever they want now in the coaching, it's like, I wanted to create this multi-colorful thing that everybody can come in at any point, and I got something for everybody. And it's like, no, no, you know what? I serve burgers. And I serve burgers, and if you want a double, if you want some different things, I can give that to you. But I
Yeah.
serve burgers. I don't serve steak. I don't serve chicken. Like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can do this, but I'm
Great
not great at
analogy.
it. I'm
Great
not
analogy.
I'm not great at it. So if you're a coach and a trainer, I want you to ask yourself, what can you do in an excellent fashion? And really, the best way to answer it is go back to your roots.
Yeah. What got you to where you're at right now? What thing made you special? Was it relationships? Was it energy? Was it organization? Was it systems? Was it What was the thing that set you forward?
This is it right here, buddy. So this is what Ryan's talking about, is what I did. What is that thing since I was a kid I've been great at? And I told you about the video game.
Yep.
I've been always, God bless me with numbers and money. God doesn't mean I always had it,
Yeah.
because I was stupid. But God still blessed me with it.
Yeah.
And
I've heard you talk several times, and you were in person last year, and as you're talking through things, it reminded me of The Hangover. And Zach Galifianakis's character, when he plays poker for the first time and he's sitting down at the table and the numbers start going through his head like Rain Man or whatever, I was like, that's Austin.
My dad used to call me Rain Man.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if he was calling me because he thought I was messed up a little bit. It was kind of like the joke that never got straightened out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Austin's like Rain
Thanks,
Man.
Tom.
Everybody would laugh a little bit. Like, are you saying something's loose? Or are you saying like, I can sleep and dream about these numbers and how to optimize them and grow them? And I just, and so
physically see them. That's not a gift for me.
Yeah.
I need a spreadsheet for that. I'll trust my spreadsheet. I don't see it visually, but what I can see.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm not like the 392 divided by 457, and I can give you the 12 decimals, but you can give me, that's not what I'm talking about, the skills and talents. Right. What I'm talking about is, hey, you got 9 things in front of you. How do you get them down to 3 and then do 3 times better because you have 3 than 9 when everyone thinks you need 9.
Yeah.
And it's just, and so that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
so
find
that's what you can, and that's the value add. That's what you coach on. And that's how you help people get organized and get that drive to move forward and remove the barriers and obstacles, the things that people let get in their way. So that's kind of a parting comment that I would give with people is if you have this passion to help other people, if you get up in the morning and you want to help teach somebody else something, and that gives you value, don't let the fact that you're not good at everything get in the way. If you are good at one thing, if you're a great rebounder or you're great at fielding ground balls, whatever the one thing you're great at, if that's what made you special, you can coach. You can coach just that thing. Don't let the fact that you're not the greatest salesman or that you're not the greatest speaker, don't let that shit get in the way. If you've got one thing you're good at and you have a conviction to help drive other people and to help make other people better, you've already got the path. You've already got to start. Keep heading that direction. Keep exploring, because when you explore, you discover.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to end today's session on that words of wisdom. Ryan Woodruff, it was awesome having you here. Thank you for impacting the Winning Twice podcast community here, brother. And I will see you in Salt Lake City here in October. So thank you.
That's right. I can't wait.
Thank you. See you, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Winning Twice. Each week, we drop a new episode with business owners, entrepreneurs, and high performers. We talk about life, vision, success, failure, and what it really takes to win professionally and personally. If you want to listen to more episodes, visit my website, austinchevron.com. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode of Winning Twice.